Hey guys, so today I wanted to look at the new horror games that are coming out in 2023. So first up today, we're going to take a look at a game that's been in development for almost a decade, and it's called Routine. Now Routine is a first-person sci-fi horror game developed by Lunar Software and published by Raw Fury. Now it's set in an abandoned lunar base, and the game takes place in the 1980s inspired future, where players must explore the station and cover the events that led to its abandonment. The game's premise is simple but effective. Players are armed only with a cosmonaut assistance tool, and they must use it to interact with various computer systems, avoid dangerous traps, and outmaneuver a mysterious threat that lurks within the base. One of the standout features of Routine is its full body awareness, dead zone aiming, and minimal user interface. These elements help to create a more immersive and tense experience as players attempt to run, hide, or defend themselves from any threats that may appear. But what sets Routine apart from other horror games is its unique setting. This game takes place in a futuristic lunar base, and the developers have done an excellent job of creating an atmospheric and haunting environment that begs to be explored. The game's been in development for a long time, and it's great to see that the team at Lunar Software has taken the time to polish the game and ensure that it lives up to its potential. Additionally, the game features a fantastic soundtrack from Mick Gordon, who has worked in other games such as Doom and Wolfenstein. So Routine will be available on PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Game Pass, although a release date has not yet been announced. But if you're a fan of horror games and science fiction, then Routine is definitely one to keep an eye on. So next up, get ready to face your fears in Amnesia, the Bunker, the latest first-person horror game from the makers of Soma and Amnesia. As a French soldier, Henry Clement, you'll find yourself all alone in a desolate World War I bunker with only one bullet left in your revolver. The darkness is oppressing, and you must keep the lights on at all costs to persevere and make your way out alive. It's a truly intense horror experience that will keep you on the edge of your seat. With randomization and unpredictable behaviour, no two playthroughs are the same. You'll be hunted by an ever-present threat that reacts to your every move and sound. You must adapt your playstyle to face the horrors that lurk in the dark. Every decision you make will change the outcome of the game, and actions have consequences. Explore and experiment to make your way out of the semi-open world, solve problems your way, and figure out what's going on down here. What's happened to the other soldiers? Where have all the officers gone? What nightmare lurks underneath this hellscape? Unravel the mysteries of the bunker and get to know the nooks and crannies of this cruel sandbox to up your odds of survival. Now, Amnesia the Bunker features a dynamic and ever-present monster that reacts to player actions. It creates a constant tension that time is not on your side. Tactile and physics-based interactions with the world allow you to scavenge for resources and craft tools to aid your survival. With multiple solutions to problem solving and a non-linear open world, you have the freedom to tackle survival in your own way. Get ready to face the rising tension and make your escape from this nightmare in Amnesia the Bunker. Right, Silent Hill fans, it's time to get excited. After more than 8 years since the last main installment, Konami has announced a remake of Silent Hill 2. The project has been developed by a Polish studio, Bloober Team, known for their expertise in the horror genre, and is already in its final stage of production. The game will be available on both PS5 and PC, with the console version being a timed exclusive for at least 12 months after the launch. In the official livestream, Konami producer Motoi Okamoto, not sure if I pronounced that right, shared that the decision to revive Silent Hill was made with the input of those who love the series. Silent Hill has been quiet for many years, but the franchise still had a loyal fan base and was receiving proposals for new entries and remakes. The Bloober Team was chosen for their passionate proposal and their expertise in horror games. The team behind the remakes made it clear that they're preserving the atmosphere that made Silent Hill 2 so special while modernising the gameplay. They're working closely with the original creators, including Akira Yamaoka and Masahiro Ito, to ensure that they keep the unique Silent Hill feel intact. One of the most significant changes is the adoption of an over-the-shoulder camera, which aims to immerse players even deeper into the game and deliver a more visceral experience. Bloober Team has also updated the combat system, set pieces, and other aspects of the game, taking advantage of the possibilities of the Unreal Engine 5 to bring the foggy, sinister town to life in ways that were impossible before. The game will have stunning visuals, and the sound design will be enhanced by the 3D audio capabilities of the PS5. The DualSense controller will also be used creatively to provide haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. The remake of Silent Hill 2 is just the beginning of Konami's renewed interest in the franchise. They've announced multiple titles with all new stories, and they plan to create new games for the series with creators who love the franchise from around the globe. The return of Silent Hill is brilliant for video games. It scared the crap out of me, and fans can't wait to experience the haunting atmosphere of Silent Hill once again. Welcome to the world of Vampire, the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, where you become a vampire in the city of Seattle. As you begin the game, you'll create your own vampire character, selecting a character background that informs who you were as a human, such as a barrister, criminal, coroner, or a police officer. After choosing your character background, you'll need to choose one of 3 upgradable disciplines: Chiropteran, Mentalism, or Nebulation. And once you've selected your character background and discipline, you'll begin your journey in the city of Seattle. The city is home to various factions, including the Pioneers, the Camarilla, the Baron, the Newcomers, and the Unseen, and you're going to have the option to ally with these factions or work against them. Throughout your journey, you're going to encounter enemies and opposing forces, which you can deal with violently, avoid through stealth, or even seduce them with sufficient abilities. You can engage in side missions away from the main story, which can be discovered through exploration, and you're going to possess a mobile phone, and you can text non-player characters to obtain information leading to other missions. You're going to need blood to survive, which can be obtained from humans, obviously the best choice, rats, rats or other blood bags. Heightened vampiric senses can be used to sense resonances in the blood of human victims, indicating their current emotional states such as fear, despair, pain, anger, or joy. I don't really enjoy it much, get bitten. Feeding on specific resonances grants temporary enhancements to the player, for example increasing their melee strength or seduction ability. However, you're going to be penalised for using certain vampiric abilities in front of witnesses, which eventually alerts the police. If you repeatedly violate the Masquerade, then that means the humans are going to choose to avoid the streets entirely, and you're going to end up getting hunted by other vampires. Now, it's going to be released this year, but there's no date yet, and Paradox insists that the game is still progressing well. So are you ready to become a vampire and navigate the complicated world of Seattle's vampiric factions? The choice is yours, and the adventure awaits. So for the next game, we're looking at Stalker 2. This is an upcoming first-person shooter video game set in a post-apocalyptic world. The game is a sequel to the critically acclaimed Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl, which was released in 2007, and it's set in the same fictional universe. Stalker 2 takes place in a future version of the Chernobyl exclusion zone, where a second nuclear disaster has occurred, causing new anomalies and mutant creatures to emerge. The game's presented from a first-person perspective, and players assume the role of a stalker, a scavenger who ventures into the exclusion zone to find valuable artifacts and loot. The game features a large open world with multiple areas to explore, and a day and night cycle that affects gameplay. It also includes survival elements, such as hunger, thirst, and radiation exposure, which requires the player to manage their resources carefully. It features a non-linear story that players can progress through at their own pace. The main story involves a mystery surrounding the disappearance of a young woman named Skiff, and players must uncover clues and piece together the story. The game also includes side missions and quests, which players can discover by exploring the world and interacting with NPCs. Now, one of the main features of the game is it's got a massive range of weapons and equipment, including rifles, pistols, grenades, and armour, which the player can upgrade and modify using parts they find in the world. And it's also got its own crafting system, which allows players to create new items and equipment using raw materials that they collect. One of the key features is the dynamic AI system, which creates a living world where NPCs have their own schedules and behaviours. NPCs will react to the player's actions, forming opinions and alliances based on their behaviour. The game also includes a faction system where players can ally themselves with different factions in the exclusion zone, and each with their own goals and agendas, and depending on your actions, factions will respond differently, leading to different outcomes and endings. The game also features a complex physics system which affects gameplays in a variety of ways, and the game includes a range of anomalies which are areas of the exclusion zone where the laws of physics are warped, causing strange and dangerous phenomena. These anomalies can be used to the player's advantage, for example by using them to take out enemies or reach otherwise inaccessible areas, and the game also has a realistic ballistic system which simulates bullet trajectories and the effect of wind and other environmental factors on bullet trajectory. Another key feature is the mutant creatures that inhabit the exclusion zone. These creatures are often the result of radiation anomalies in the area and range from relatively harmless to extremely dangerous, and you're going to need to fight these creatures in order to progress through the game and complete missions, and you'll need to use different tactics and weapons depending on the type of creatures you encounter. The game's built on the Unreal Engine, so the graphics are going to really stand out, and it creates a realistic and immersive world. The game also includes realistic lighting and weather effects which affect the gameplay and create a sort of dynamic and ever-changing world. The promising multiplayer, but multiplayer is not going to come until after launch, which will allow players to team up and explore the exclusion zone together. Even though the game was announced in 2010, development was put on hold due to financial difficulty. The game's set to release this year, and it's going to be on PC and Xbox Series X, with release on PlayStation planned for later. Alan Wake 2 is a highly anticipated sequel to the critically acclaimed psychological thriller Alan Wake, which was released first over a decade ago. Developed by Remedy Entertainment, the game follows the story of a best-selling author, unsurprisingly named Alan Wake, who's struggling with writer's block and other personal issues. As he travels to the small town of Bright Falls, he discovers that the events of his latest novel are coming to life, and he becomes embroiled in a supernatural mystery that threatens to consume him. The game features an atmospheric and immersive world, with players taking on the role of Alan as he navigates the town and battles supernatural enemies using a variety of weapons and abilities. The game promises to be a thrilling and suspenseful experience, and fans of the original are eagerly anticipating its release. While there's currently no official release date, Remedy Entertainment has promised Alan Wake 2 is in development, and we can't wait to see what they have in store for us. So next, we've got Layers of Fear. This is a game that's left its mark on the sort of narrative-driven first-person psychological horror genre, and now the series returns to tell its final spine-chilling story. The game is going to include all the previous games, so Layers of Fear 1, Layers of Fear 2, as well as all DLCs, including the new Final Note DLC that's going to give you a new perspective on the Layers of Fear storyline, and the never-before-told story of the writer, which ties everything together. One of the most captivating aspects of Layers of Fear is its immersive and realistic visual experiences. The game features 3 different stories of craft-obsessed protagonists, including the painter, the actor, and the writer, which are all sort of interwoven to create a truly immersive and gripping storyline. And your sanity crumbles as you search for the supplies needed to create your magnum opus. As the painter's daughter, you come seeking answers about the secrets of the homestead and the madness that bestowed your father. In Layers of Fear 2, you're the lead actor in a production being filmed aboard an ocean liner, but all's not what it seemed. And in the Lighthouse chapter, you enter a lone and ghastly lighthouse as the newest protagonist, the writer, and discover a never-before-told tale that ties the entire series together. I think Layers of Fear is going to be a sort of must-play for horror fans who appreciate immersive storytelling, stunning visuals, and sort of beautiful soundtracks. The next game that came out yesterday, I actually had the idea for this video last week, so it was going to be a sort of upcoming release. It's not really what I'm keen on either. I'm not too keen on sort of Japanese anime stuff. It's more like sort of manga porn to me or something. Plus, it's got far too many names. So we've got Fatal Frame, Project Zero, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. Now this is the 4th game in the Fatal Frame Project Zero series, and it was released in Japan in 2008. It's now been brought back to life with upgraded graphics following the remastering of Fatal Frame Project Zero Maiden of Blackwater, the series masterpiece. The game follows follows a group of children who mysteriously disappeared during a festival on Rogetsu Isle. Although they were found, they'd lost their memories. Now they returned to the island as teenagers, relying on the camera obscura, an old camera with the power to capture and seal away unthinkable horrors, and the faint beam of their flashlights while exploring various locations and fending off the ghosts that attack them as they attempt to discover the truth of their haunting past. The camera is an indispensable item throughout the game, and it's used as a weapon against ghosts by spotting them through the viewfinder and taking photos of them to inflict damage. It also plays a major role in the girls' investigation, as its special power allows them to see the keys that allow them to find their way through the new areas. Players explore the dimly lit Western-style mansions and abandoned hospitals on the island by relying on the moonlight and the faint beam from the flashlight, progressing the story by interacting with items and places that spark interest. Players uncover the vile secrets of the past and unravel the lost memories of the protagonist and discover the truth. The game boasts improved graphics with in-game movies and character models enhanced to make the story and characters more appealing, and the rendering of shadows and the beam of the flashlight has been refined to provide a more realistic horror experience. Additionally, the game features a new snap mode, allowing the players to pose characters and ghosts freely to create haunting memories. Perhaps players may even take unexpected photos of ghosts by accident. Overall, Masquerade the Lunar Eclipse is getting good reviews. It should be a thrilling horror game that's have players on the edge of the seats as they explore the island, fend off ghosts, and uncover the dark secrets of the past. For the next one, welcome to the world of mind-numbing terror with Red Barrel's latest creation, the Outlast Trials. This time you don't have to face the horrors alone, as you can play with up to 4 people to survive the advanced methods of brainwashing and mind control tests conducted by the Murkoff Corporation. So it's set in the Cold War era, and you're going to play as a human guinea pig involuntarily recruited by Murkoff to test their latest methods. In a world of fear, distrust and violence, your morals will be challenged, your endurance tested, and your sanity crushed, all in the name of progress, science and profit. The gameplay remains true to the Outlast series, where you must hide, avoid enemies and try to escape. Murkoff provide tools to increase your stealth capabilities and create opportunities to flee, but you'll have to work hard to earn them. Customization is going to be a key feature of the game, with the ability to choose your tools, upgrades and perks to fit your playstyle. You can even customize and create your own trial patient and decorate your cell to feel more at home during your therapy. As you progress, you've got to collect documents and items that will help prove Murkoff's malpractice against his patients. Survive long enough and complete the therapy, and Murkoff will let you leave. But will you be the same? The choice is yours, and are you ready to face the Outlast Trials? Now this next one, I'm really interested in. The moment I saw the trailer, I was like, wow, that looks good. So survival games are becoming increasingly popular in the gaming industry, with new and exciting titles emerging, like The Day Before, Ark 2, June Awakening. But Blight Survival, now it's developed by Heinria Studios. They've recently put itself in the spotlight with this gameplay reveal trailer, and it's getting a lot of attention from people. Sort of set in a no man's land between two states at war, Blight Survival is a 4-player co-op horror roguelike game, and players must fight for a violent co-op experience against men from each state and the monsters that inhabit the land between them. Your overarching goal is to stop the ravaging disease that is Blight, which has consumed the dead and turned ordinary townsfolk into ravaged monsters. The game is going to include survival-style looting, in which you can upgrade your arsenal of weapons and armour, as well as pillage the remains of those that you kill for even more exciting rewards. With Unreal Engine 5, the developers aim to create a combat experience that is a cross between Dark Souls and Mordhau, making it realistic, immersive and lifelike. While the game's release date is yet to be confirmed, the studio confirmed that Blight Survival has been developed for the PC with the possibility of expanding into next-generation consoles in the future. And the game is also going to include character customization in terms of weapons and armour, allowing each player to personalise their appearance and sort of tailor their own playstyle. In addition, the developers hinted at a possible invasion mode similar to Dark Souls raid concept for in-game PvP, making for an exciting feature that's going to test players' wits in PvP combat. While the game's still in its early stages, it appears to be on the right track. Now, I follow these guys on Twitter, and they're very, very active, and they answer all questions as well. So if you've got any questions about the game, jump on Twitter and just go ask them, and they'll tell you. They're really good. I can't wait for this one when it comes out, because I think it's going to be a good game. If none of those games do it for you, I think the game you're looking for is in this video here on the screen. Alright, thanks for watching. Take it easy.